first we make achaman. I will chant mantra and you follow word to word after me, and then in the end, putting with left hand, in right hand, in the beginning, we first put water in right hand, and then these mantras speak in this water. Om apavitra pavitrava sarvastam gatopiva yak smaret pundarikaksham sabhakya abhayantaraha suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Keshvaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Madhavaya Namaha Om sorry.
Wait.
This later usual. Закажете потом. We do again. I didn't. Again. Om apavitra pavitrava sarvavastam gatopiva yak smaret pundarikaksham sabhakya abhayantaraha suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Keshvaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Madhavaya Namaha Om apavitra pavitrava sarvavastam gatopiva yak smaret pundarikaksham sabhakya abhyantaraha suchihi Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Shri Vishnu Om Keshvaya Namaha Om Narayanaya Namaha Om Madhavaya Namaha. Actually, it's 3 times. This is first time. Now, please, if you can speak something, all of you together.
You go first.
I want to hear you. Get inspired.
Om Agyanatvirandasya Gananjana Salakaya Chaksur Militam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namane Namaste Saraswatam Deve Gauravani Pracharane Nirvishesha Srinivadi Paskatyade Sadarne. Only under Mahatma Prabhu's order am I speaking first, because otherwise we'd be arguing for the next half an hour who's going to speak first. Maybe a little less than that. In 1966, when Srila Prabhupada was going to give his first initiation, one devotee asked Srila Prabhupada, what does initiation mean? And Prabhupada's response was, it means that the disciple is accepting the spiritual master to be God. And as soon as the devotees heard that, there was great confusion, and immediately they went and started to discuss, how is this possible? Swamiji has been discussing how the Guru, if the Guru calls himself to be God, then he's as good as dog. And now Gurudev Swamiji is telling us that at that time of initiation, we have to accept him as God. And then they went to Prabhupada, to Swamiji at that time, and they asked, Swamiji, you keep on telling us we're supposed to accept the Guru. No, you were telling us that if the Guru claims to be God, then he's as good as dog. But now you're telling us that at the time of initiation, we have to accept you to be God. And Prabhupada said, you don't understand. Of course they didn't understand. The Guru never claims himself to be God, but the disciple takes him to be the representative of God, and therefore as good as God. Therefore, Prabhupada writes in the Bhagavad Gita, then 434, that knowledge of Krishna comes in disciple succession from Krishna gives it dharmam tu sakshat bhagavat pranitam. And a spiritual master in the line of disciple succession can convey the knowledge of the Lord as he's given it. Therefore, the disciple should accept the Guru in full surrender and serve him like a menial servant without false prestige. Satisfaction of the self-realized spiritual master is a secret advancement in spiritual life. In other words, in order to train the disciple in surrender, the disciple has to consider the Guru as good as God. At least one person. Actually, all the devotees, as Prabhupada said in 1977 on November 2nd, all the devotees in our society are as good as God as much as they follow Krishna's instructions and the instructions of our acharyas. They become as good as God. What we think is the external person is actually not the person. It's actually either the manifestation of the external energy moving under the modes of nature, or is a manifestation of the internal energy moving under the divine energy. So when the devotees simply, when they're chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna doesn't make it very complicated, that if we wanted to take a thermometer, a guru thermometer, we put it in his mouth, and then it registers either kanista or madhyama or uttama. That's not the way it works. Krishna makes it very simple. Sadatam kirtayanto mam yatantas chadrida vrataha namasyantas mam bhaktya nityukta upasate. So the neophyte devotees chanting Hare Krishna, as Rupa Goswami will say in the fifth verse of Nectar of Instruction. So we can tell a neophyte devotee that he's a devotee, he's a Vaishnava, Kanista Vaishnava, because he's chanting Hare Krishna. And we can tell a Madhyamadikari because he's serving Krishna with determination, or as Rupa Goswami said, he's been initiated, and therefore serving Krishna with determination. And we can tell the Uttamadikari Vaishnava because of his great humility. He's devoid of the propensity to criticize others, and therefore he's namasyantasamam bhaktya nityukta upasate. So this is how any devotee who's has these qualifications, these characteristics, we can understand to be a pure devotee to different levels. And therefore, also the Guru is also a pure devotee, if he's following that process. And all the other devotees are also devotees, if they're following their process. So the Guru, we accept him as good as God. He trains us how to see all the other devotees, how good as God are they, so we can serve them appropriately. So the aim of becoming a guru or accepting the Guru is we accept him as good as God, so he can train us to understand how everyone else is as good as God. All the other devotees are as good as God, so we can help them, serve them, and also appropriately engage in our loving exchanges so we can make spiritual advancement. That's called working on the Madhyama Adhikari platform, which Prabhupada said is the platform by which we make spiritual advancement. So, Mahatma Prabhu's certainly chanting Hare Krishna, and he's certainly engaged with determination serving Krishna, and he's certainly a humble devotee, engaged in trying to serve Prabhupada and follow his footsteps, the Acharya. So therefore we can accept him as good as God. I accept him as good as God, and we hope his disciples accept him as good as God also. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Iti Namani Namaste Saraswati Gauravani Pacharine Nirvisesa Sanyavadi Hare Krishna. I am doing this service because Srila Prabhupada asked all of us to do this. And I am always humbled and honored anytime somebody sees me as good as God. And I feel a grave responsibility to be an example of what Prabhupada wanted, and I think we should all feel that responsibility. That's what this movement's about. And I'm happy that both of you have made progress in Krishna consciousness. This is a special day. You've already taken shelter of a guru, but now this is formalizing that. And in a lecture on an initiation, Prabhupada quoted the first verse of Bhagavad Gita, Maya Sakta Manaparta, Yogam Yunchad Marashraya. Marashraya means to take shelter of me. And Prabhupada said, to take shelter of me means to take shelter of Guru. Because you cannot take direct shelter of Krishna. And the relationship between Guru and disciple is similar because he's representing God. It's similar to our relationship with Krishna. It's all about love. In fact, this whole movement is about love, service, devotion, and so forth. So Prabhupada said something very important that's always affected me, that when you make vows, it's not always easy to keep them, but because of your love for your Guru, you will do it even when you don't feel like doing it, because you don't want to let him down. And the reality is, it's not easy to keep one's vows for one's entire life. At the same time, it is easy. And as we discussed in the retreat, there are many things that are going to try to get between you and Krishna. And once you make your vow, basically you're saying, even though these things are trying to get in the way between me and Krishna, I won't allow it. So, we also discussed an very important factor of Krishna consciousness, that those who are advanced in devotional service have a great ability to tolerate the pushings and pullings of the mind and senses. And vacho vegam, manasa krodha vegam. Jiva, vacho, the talk, speaking, you like to talk? You know, one time I read that Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, you should chant 64 rounds a day, that way you have no time to gossip. Because you just like we did 64 rounds one day, and we barely finished by 5 o'clock. Had a class and just chanted. And we took a monobrat, so it was great. No time to gossip. So we are making a determination that no matter what comes across with the vacho vegam, the mind, manasa, krodha, anger, jiva, the tongue, udara pashta, the belly, most voracious of all is the tongue. We want to eat so much. Genital, no matter what urge is there, we have made a determination we will not give into this, and we simply have to learn how to tolerate it. And if we can tolerate it, then we can go back to Krishna. And we were talking about this morning, Alanath was saying, I just hope that the pushings and pullings of this world don't push me away. And I said, the pushing and pullings will be there. They have to be, we're conditioned souls. But you don't have to give in to them. And I think a lot of times we think we have to. So when you're taking initiation, you're basically saying, I'm not going to give in to them when they come. And they'll come. Don't worry, they'll come. You don't have to do anything, they'll come. But your determination is, no, I'm making these vows, and I'm going to do this. You know, Prabhupada said some heavy things about vows, and sometimes I'm almost afraid to say it because it can make you feel really bad and guilty and so forth. But I'll preface it by saying that Prabhupada was sometimes heavy because he knew we needed to hear certain things. Like, we need to be heavy. So he said, if you make a promise and you don't keep it, then you're an animal. Because you're not a human being. Human being makes a promise, they keep it. Animal cannot keep a promise. I don't even know if an animal can make a promise, but if they could, they couldn't keep it. So Prabhupada was very heavy, and Prabhupada knew the challenges, and he knew sometimes we would fail. But he expected us never to give up, and because we make these vows, we keep them, no matter how difficult they are. So I just want to congratulate you and all the devotees who have made their vows. It's a big thing. And it shows that you're determined, that you're serious. You want to do this. So I want to respect that and encourage that. And as I said in Lithuania at the initiation, that when you make your vow today, you should make it every day. Every morning when you wake up, make the vow again, because it's not a one-time thing. And when we make it, we think it's a one-time thing, that's when we give it up. You know what I was thinking? Which is really interesting. On Guru Purnima, we should have a ceremony, and every devotee could remake their vows. And I can guarantee you, not every initiated devotee would remake them. It would be a time for reflection. Because I did a workshop once, and I said, who wants to remake their vows? And only like 20%. So I got this idea because I heard an interview with a man, and they said, how many times have you been married? He said, 25. And the interviewer was a bit shocked, and he said, well, every year we remarry. We have the ceremony. We retake our vows every year. And I thought, well, that's beautiful. But then I had studied a little bit about commitment, and in that literature they say, not every year, but every day. I thought that's beautiful, because if you're committing, it's every day. Sometimes it's difficult, but we're committed. And the reason you commit is because this is what you want to do. You're not committing for a week or a month. It's not a Kartik Vrata. You're committing that this is what I want to do every day of my life, and I will do it. And that commitment will save you during those times when you don't want to do it, when you don't feel like it. Because, we act on our feelings, unfortunately, not always on our intelligence. And so when those feelings are there, that this is hard, I don't want to do it, we remember this is what we promised to do, and we wanted to promise. Nobody's forcing you. If you don't want to take initiation, we can end the ceremony right now. Nobody's forcing you. You're doing this because you want to. And so just remember, you're making these vows because you want to make sure through your whole life. During those times when you don't feel like it, you'll do it because you made the vow. And if you make the vow and you don't keep it, then the vow doesn't work for you. Because the vow works when you commit to it, because it saves you when you don't want to do it. That's the beauty of the vow. Otherwise, it's not a vow. So, congratulations. Well, we talk so much. Shpela was asking me, is there anything I need to do to prepare for initiation? I said, well, you came to the retreat. You prepared yourself. I was thinking, it'd really be nice before initiation if everyone went to a japa retreat, or, chanted 64 rounds or something, because it's such good preparation, because this is Harinam initiation. Anyway, we've talked much about the holy name, and one of the main things we were talking about is how powerful the holy name is. Param Vijayate Sri Krishna Sankirtan. And that we should never underestimate the power. That's one of the offenses, to think that when we hear about the glories of the holy name, it's an exaggeration. It can't purify me. But you're holding the light. It's not your light, it's the light of the name, but you're holding it and it's lighting you up, so you can't say it's not going to light you. It's powerful. You hold something powerful, you become powerful. And you can make tremendous amounts of advancement if you take the holy name without offense. But if we make offenses, our advancement is slow, if at all. And we learn that very carefully at the retreat here. So when you're taking this initiation, you're also vowing that I will do my best to chant the holy name and avoid the offenses. You can't always avoid them, but you can make the effort. And Srila Bhaktisiddhanta said, he who makes his best efforts earnestly will attract the mercy of Krishna. So you make your best efforts to chant the holy name, you attract the mercy of the holy name. And that mercy is there for everyone. And you attract the mercy of Guru, you attract the mercy of Prabhupada, you attract the mercy, you just attract so much mercy. And it's that mercy that will purify you and take you back to Krishna. Did you ever hear Prabhupada say your beads are your ticket back to Godhead? Because I can't find it, but I thought I heard it. Confirmed. Your ticket back to Godhead. Well, obviously your ticket back to Godhead is in the holy name, chanted without offense. And I think the greatest gift any guru can give his disciples is that ability or encouragement or knowledge of how to chant the holy name without offense, because that will take you back to Godhead. And also in the Gita, Prabhupada said through the mercy of the Guru you get the holy name, but you're directly connecting with Krishna. So that's your direct connection with Krishna. Krishna's there in the name. You don't need any intermediary. You're getting the holy name at initiation, but that holy name is Krishna. Thank you. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Now names.
Names. Okay. So, Shvela, you're closest. So you can come first. You can pay obeisances to Prabhupada, pay obeisances to Maharaj, and then pay obeisances here, and then we'll give you your name. And Natika Chandrika will ask you to say something about these devotees, because you know them well. Embarrass them. We want you to fully embarrass them by telling us about their good qualities.
Perfect.
You can pay obeisances to Maharaj. Ask his blessings. He is my senior in so many ways.
Slovenia. Is that the right word for Slovenia? For blessing? Blagosloveni?
Blagoslovi.
Sad blagoslovi.
Ja, se ga prosi za blagoslovi.
Blagoslavi. So, Hare Krishna. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna. So, Shlela. Before you make your commitment, Natika Chandrika is going to tell us all about your glories.
If I be short, I say she's perfect. Ja, Špela je prekrasna, naša kirtanija, zelo lepo igra na harmoniji. Špela je tudi s polnim srcem odprla svoj dom in gostila in delala sange vsak teden. Tako da smo bili res veseli, ko nas je povabila. Špela je vedno pripravljena vsem pomagati. Špela je tako mila, da ko si ob njej, v bistvu te vse razbremeni. Rečeš, o moj Bog, ni problemov, ker je tako mila, prijetna, topla, čista. Tako da Špela ima rada čisto vse bakte. Nikoli je še nismo slišali, da bi koga ugovarjala. Res je neverjetna. Ima vse vrline prave vajšnavi. Tako da za eno besedo, Špela je perfekt.
No, we heard, she's perfect.
Yeah.
That's a good qualification.
Yes.
She's a great singer.
Yes.
Leader.
Yeah.
She plays the flute. This morning on our morning walk, I picked a name for you, and I thought, maybe we should change it to Murlidhar, because Murlidhar means one who carries a flute.
Krishna Govinda.
And I thought, well, that's a name for a man, anyway. But that can be your nickname, Murlidhar. So, what are the 4 principles?
No meat, no eggs, no fish, no intoxication, no gambling, no illicit sex.
And how many rounds?
It's 16 rounds of Hare Krišna Mahatma prabhu.
What kind of rounds? Robotic, mechanical? Yeah. Trying to avoid the 10 offenses. Okay. So, your name is Sarva Mangala Radha Devi Dasi. So, Prabhupada has a disciple named Sarva Mangala. Sarva means all and Mangala means auspicious. But then I was looking up on the internet, and that's also a name of Durga. So I thought, and it's also a name of Radha. So we'll put Radha at the end to make sure this is like kosher. And then I also thought, you know, when you have a name like Sarva Mangala, everyone's going to call you Sarva, right? Isn't it? But if you have Sarva Mangala Radha, there might be a chance they'll call you Sarva Mangala. And some people will call you Sarva Mangala Radha. Sarva Mangala Radha ki jai.
Sarva Mangala Radha ki jai.
All auspicious Radha. Everything about Radha is auspicious. It must be. So this is Maya. You're next. Our joke with Maya is we'll name her Mahamaya, so she's not only Maya, she's Big Maya. But I'm not going to do that. Although Prabhupada has a disciple named Mahamaya. Mahamaya is the external energy, but it comes from Radha, so that's what Prabhupada told Mahamaya. It's, you know, it's Krishna's energy, Mahamaya.
It's a great devotee.
Yeah.
She does her task, or she doesn't really want to do it. She takes a vow.
Oh yeah, right. She serves, yeah. Difficult service, yeah.
It's like being in the Guru services.
Then our next life will become Durga, right? Hare Krishna.
Slavini.
Yes, Haribol.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Oh, yes.
Maja? Še zadnjič Maja.
No, you're going to tell us something about Maya.
Okay. O Maji bi tudi rekla z eno besedo, da je perfect. Ampak moram vseeno malo to razgraditi. Se pravi, naša Maja vedno poskrbi, da je Panča Tatva, garlandi in Goranitaj tako lepi. Ona tako srcem dela garlande, da jo je res čudovito gledati, opazovati. Meditira in je res neverjetna. Maja tudi vedno je na razpolago narediti vse službe v templju, ne glede na čas, kljub temu, da ima službo. Maja je izjemen prijatelj, tudi mila, tiha, neopadljiva, neopazna, pa vendar velika mravljica, velik sluga. Ja, tako da, you are perfect. Hvala ti.
And everybody loves Maya.
Everybody loves Maya.
This Maya and the other Maya.
Yeah.
Everybody loves it.
Yeah.
So, having a name Maya made it a little easier for me, but we have a disciple already, Yoga Maya, but that would have been a good one. But since it's, I'm in the mood of Sri Radha, her appearance day is coming in the end of August. So, you tell me what you're going to do, and I will tell you your name. Giving a name is part of the practice of initiation. The name must be changed. Yes?
No meat eating, fish and eggs, no illicit sex, no gambling and no intoxications. And I will do my best to chant at least 16 rounds attentively every day.
Wonderful. If you do that, you'll go back to Godhead, right? No problem. Your house is ready in the spiritual world. Your ticket is validated. You just keep doing that. Keep your ticket validated. 16 rounds, 4 principles. It keeps it validated. Otherwise, after you die, you'll show your ticket and they'll say, "No, it expired." You don't want that to happen. So, your name is Prema Mai Radha. Wow. So, Prema, of course, means love. And Mai means full of, absorbed in or full of, and that's Radha. Radha, who is full in love of Krishna. There's a song, Krishna Prema Mai Radha, Radha Prema Mai Krishna. Radha is full of love for Krishna, Krishna is full of love for Radha. You can find that song. I think Badahari sang that song. Krishna Prema Mai Radha, Radha Prema Mai Krishna. Anyway, Prema, love. Prema Mai, full of. You could also say it's full of love for Radha, if you're a Radha Bhakta. You could look at it that way, but in that song it means Radha is full of love for Krishna. Anyway, either way is great. Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Prema Mai Radha ki jai.
So these are the Radha. When you see them together, you will recognize these are the Radha sisters.
Yeah,
And then we will think of Radha. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Harihi Om Sahanau Avatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryan Karavavahai Tejasminavaditamastu Mavidvishawahai Om Shanti 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 Om Asya Karmanak Punyakam Bhavantu Bruvantu Om Punyakam Om Punyakam Om Punyakam Om Asya Karmanak Swasti Bhavantu Bruvantu Ayushmate Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Swasti Om Asya Karmano Ridim Bhavantu Bruvantu Om Ridyatam Om Ridyantam Om Ridyantam Om Swastino Govindaha Swastino Chutananta Swastino Vasudeo Vishnu Dadatu Swastino Narayano Narovai Swastinak Panavak Purushottama Dadatu Swastino Vishwesharha Swastino Krishikisha Dadati Swastino Vanateo Harihi Swastino Ananjana Sutta Khanu Bhavato Dadatu Swasti Swasti Sumangale Kishamakan Shri Krishna Sachitananda Ganak Sarveshwareshwaro Dadatu Om Tad Vishnu Paramam Padagam Sada Pashyanti Suraya Divyarchak Shratatan Tad Vipraso Vipanyo Jagrivak Sasamidate Vishnurak Paramam Padagam Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Sankalpa Harihi Om Om Tat Sat Shri Govinda Govinda Govindaha Dashami Shubhautitau Achyuta Gotra Sarva Mangala Radha Prema Mai Radha Dashami Shri Krishna Prityartam Upanayam Sanskara Karmakam Karishyami. Now please Kirtan bhajans when I invite
Ester, izvoli. Hočeš ji pomoči, sa karakama.
Om Shri Varuna Ikavaka Ikatishta Ikasanedehi Sanedehi Sanirudasya Samukobhava Ni Krishna Govindaya Gopijavalabha Svaha Hidaya Namaha Krishna Shri Svaha Govindaya Shaka Vasaka Gopijana Kavacha Kubalabha Netrana Versat Om Astrayapat Ikamnite Kuru Ikaparame Kuru Om Shri Mahalakshmi Ikavaka Ikatishta Ikasanedehi Sanirudasya Samukobhava Ni Krishna Govindaya Gopijavalabha Svaha Hidaya Namaha Krishna Shri Svaha Govindaya Shikaya Vatsaka Gopijana Kavacha Kubalabha Netrana Versat Om Astrayapat Ikamnite Kuru Ikaparame Kuru
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna. Krishna Krishna
Shri Yagyavaraka Krishna Govindaya Gopijavalabha Svaha Hidaya Namaha Krishna Shri Svaha Shikaya Vatsaka Gopijana Kavacha Kubalabha
Hare Krishna Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare Rama Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Krishna, 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 Hare, Hare Rama, 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 Hare, Hare, Hare. Krishna, Krishna, Hare, Rama, 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 Hare Krishna, 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 Krishna.
Hare Krišna. Začel bom z Vyasta Samasta Makava Hriti Homa, to bom izgovarjal sam. Samo na vsaki svaha vi vršite gor žitarce. Primete z temi tremi prsti, ne z kvadratskim. Pa čist pomalo, ne treba ne. Lahko se bliže sedete, da boste sedeli. You can come closer too. Please somebody help. Om Bhu Svaha Idam Vishnu Idam Namah Om Bhuak Svaha Idam Achyuta Idam Namah Om Svak Svaha Idam Narayana Idam Namah Om Bhuak Svak Svaha Idam Anantaya Idam Namah. Sedaj sledi Šrimangala Čarana Homa, izgovarjal bom mantre, vi pa ponavljate za mano. Om Agyana Timirandasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Svaha 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 Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Svayam Rupam Kadamakyam Dadati Sva Padantikam Svaha 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 Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahidam Krishna Chaitanya Shri Radha Krishna Padam Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha Svaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Gurave Chistabhyam Mahatma prabhave Sada Tat Prabhu Bhava Rupaya Kirtanalada Daine Namastatva Prakashasya Bhakta Nam Tat Parayacha Svaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin iti namine Svaha 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 Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Svaha 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 Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Preshtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati iti namine Svaha 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 Shivarshabhanavi Devi Daitaya Kripadbhaye Krishna Sambandha Vigyana Daine Prabhave Namaha Svaha 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 Madhuryo Jala Premadya Shirupanuga Bhaktida Shigaura Karuna Shakti Virhaya Namastute Svaha 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 Namaste Gauravani Shimurtaye Dinatarine Rupanuga Virudapa Siddhanta Dvantaharine Svaha 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 Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtaye Vipralambara Sambode Padambujaya Tinamaha Svaha 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 Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachitananda Namine Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuya Varayate Svaha 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 Gauravirbhava Niveshtam Nirveshta Sajjanapriyaha Vaishnava Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Svaha 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 Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Svaha 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 Namo Maha Vadanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gaure Trishe Namaha Svaha 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 Panchatattvam Kam Krishnam Bhaktarupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikyam Svaha Svaha, Svaha, He Krishna, Karuna Sindhu, Dinabandhu, Jagatpate, Gopesha, Gopika Kanta, Radha Kanta, Namostute, Svaha, 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 Jayatam, Suratam Pangor, Mama Manda, Matergati, Matsarasya, Padambujao, Radha Madana, Mohanao, Svaha, 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 Divyat, Vrindaranya, Kalpadrumadach, Shirat Nagara, Sikhasanastav, Shrimadrada, Govinda Devav, Preshtalabhihi, Savamanu Smarami, Svaha, 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 Shrimatrasa, Rasarambi, Vamshivata, Tatastitaha, Karshanvenum, Sonagopir, Gopinataya, Testunaha, Svaha, 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 Tapta Kanchana, Gaurangi, Radhe, Vrindavaneshware, Rishabhanu, Sutadevi, Pranamami, Haripriye, Svaha, 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 Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya, Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita, Gadadhar, Shri Vasari, Gaura Bhakta Vrinda, Svaha, 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 Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Svaha, Svaha, Svaha. Zdaj pa spet samo na svaha. Om Bo Svaha. Ni treba ponavljati, samo na svaha vršite gor. Om Bo Svaha. Idam Višno, idam Nama. Om Buvak Svaha. Idam Vachuta, idam Nama. Om Svak Svaha. Idam Narayana, idam Nama. Om Bur Buvak Svak Svaha. Idam Vachuta, idam Nama. Zaključna delitev, sedaj bomo ostali. Sorry, I speak Slovenian. Bomo ostali in vrgli še ostalega, ne vsega, da ne pogasimo ogna. We don't throw all these grains because we extinct fire, you just a little, and bananas. Just bananas. It will smoke if we extinct this. Namo Brahmanya Devaya Go Brahmana Hitaya Cha Jagaditaya Krishnaya Govindaya Namo Namaha Svaha Idam Krishnaya Idam Namama Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnam Udachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyate Om Shanti 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 Om Dvayok Shanti, Katarika Shanti, Kritik Shanti, Kapak Shanti, Fayok Shanti, Tira Shanti, Uksharak Shanti, Klokak Shanti, Brahma Shanti, Vaishnava Shanti, Shanti Rastru, Riti Rashtu, Om, Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Angahinam, Kriyahinam, Vidihinam, Chadvat, Astata Saramachidram, Krishna Karshna Prasadaha, Yat Kinchit Vegam Jatam, Tadasha Prasamanasya, Shri Krishna Smaranam Karomi, Om Agnitam Samudra Gacha, Om Tvam Sitola Baba. Kirtan.
Krishna